Hey everybody, it is Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy hump day, hope you're having a good one. And right off the heels of our last video, we're kind of contemplating the lows and everything, taking a look at the perspective of the market, some of the historical precedents that we've seen. It's nice to be able to start today off. We're not celebrating yet, but it's nice to be able to note and observe the fact that we're up all across the board in some of the major projects. Bitcoin up almost 10% at the time of this recording. Check out Ethereum, up over 10% in the last 24 hours. There's no other market in which this is possible as far as I've seen in my life. So that's something to note. Again, we're not celebrating yet. We're not popping the champagne, but that's a nice little indication to start off our Wednesday, our hump days. Today, we're looking at some positive news in the way of Nasdaq, which plans to offer Bitcoin futures in early 2019. A lot of coverage outside of the regular crypto news sphere is being diverted toward that. We're also looking at Liechtenstein briefly. So let's rewind to some of that good news and look at Nasdaq's plans. So Nasdaq's planning to offer Bitcoin futures potentially in early 2019. Article here by Luke. So big news today. Bloomberg reported that the U.S. stock exchange operator Nasdaq is sticking with its plans to launch Bitcoin futures contracts. Futures will enable investors to predict and put money on the future price of the currency. Nasdaq is aiming to launch the Bitcoin futures contracts at the beginning of 2019. I'm wondering if maybe this is a response to some of the other stuff that's been going on. Of course, what we've seen with Bakkt, with the Intercontinental Exchange, Nasdaq likely wants to get in on the game themselves, and it's nice to be able to hear this reaffirmation rather than news of a delay. I was half expecting Nasdaq to delay this offering because that seems to be the trend in terms of what some of these institutions are doing. But today, as Luke writes, a Bloomberg report revealed that according to, quote, people familiar with the matter, the Nasdaq will start its own Bitcoin future contract in Q1 of 2019. Although the crypto market is currently still very bearish with Bitcoin trading at a yearly low, the U.S. stock exchange is sticking with plans to launch Bitcoin futures contracts early next year. So as of right now, the Nasdaq is working through regulatory issues with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC. That's according to Bloomberg. The news is surprising not only because of the bearish state of the crypto market, but also because in February of this year, the CFTC strengthened its review process for cryptocurrency futures products. Now, I know some of you are not too keen when it comes to futures and crypto or futures and Bitcoin. You don't like it when those two words are linked together. And there is an argument there. The very first Bitcoin future contracts, writes Luke, hit the market almost a year ago with offerings from the CBOE and CME group arriving as Bitcoin prices peaked to their all-time high near 20,000 in December. So there is an argument to be made about how, with more futures, there is more control. There is potentially, unfortunately, more manipulation. That's the downside. There's an argument to be made there. More recently, the Intercontinental Exchange ICE also announced it is launching a physically delivered Bitcoin futures product through their new exchange called Bakkt. So we talked about that, and it's now been postponed from the 12th of December 2018 to the 24th of January 2019 due to the, quote, volume of interest in the company and the, quote, work required to get all the pieces in place. So as Luke concludes here, it seems that with the soon-to-be launched Bitcoin futures by ICE, the Nasdaq, the world's second largest stock exchange, is now also speeding up the process to get in the game. So it's great for the crypto market, in my opinion. It is great news, but it has to be seen if the futures can help the bearish market recover. Let us know what you think about this particular development. Leave an article comment for Luke. Again, I think there are arguments to be made both ways, but this is getting a lot of coverage. Obviously, our source for information for this story comes from Bloomberg. You can check out this article from November 27th. Nasdaq plans to pursue Bitcoin futures despite plunging prices, sources say. In my opinion, it's not counterintuitive. I mean, of course they would plan to pursue Bitcoin futures despite plunging prices. Nasdaq is in the business of making money, right? Not only for themselves, for their own, the ownership structure of Nasdaq, for their stakeholders, of course. So if you want to make money, you want to go after something, are you going to go after it when it's at a bargain, or are you going to go after it when it's overbought? So this is, almost a misleading headline, because if I were in the business of making money, if I were Nasdaq, if I were put in their shoes, of course I'd want to set up my infrastructure, set up my empire when prices were at, not an all-time low, but an all-time low for the year. So I think that makes perfect sense, and it's a good strategic move. CNBC also covered this. Nasdaq investigating Bitcoin futures that are different from rivals, CEO says. Let us know your thoughts and whether you're a proponent of Bitcoin futures in the comments below. And let's just take a look at this positive article briefly. We'll end on this. Liechtenstein, how beautiful is that backdrop, by the way, guys? You know, on all the dating sites, when it's, are you a mountain or beach person? I always say mountain. Mountain for me. And this is just idyllic. So, sorry for the tangent. But Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange granted business license by regulator. Another little bit of good news article as well by Luke. Big fan of cryptocurrency and ever been thinking about moving to Liechtenstein? I just was. Liechtenstein, seen as an important financial center in the world, is moving more and more towards crypto and crypto regulations. Today, the news came out that LCX, the Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange, has acquired an official business license in Liechtenstein. According to that press release, Liechtenstein's crypto asset exchange, LCX, has recently acquired that business license in Liechtenstein, and it's a blockchain ecosystem for professional investors. Claiming to comply with all regulatory requirements for anti-money laundering and know your customer, the LCX now officially provides institutional and crypto players with the services mentioned above. Furthermore, the new license granted by the Liechtenstein Ministry of Economic Affairs is reportedly a milestone for LCX in developing their fully regulated blockchain ecosystem. Binance LCX represents a joint venture between the LCX and the currently world's largest crypto exchange, Binance. Launched in August 2018, the exchange offers trading in major cryptocurrency pairs against CHF and euros. So that's a strong partnership, no doubt about that. Let us know if you're from Liechtenstein, or even if you're not, if this news interests you. But another nice little positive sprinkled into some of the other positive news. And as I mentioned, it is nice to be able to report that we're up, in some cases, 10% or more across the board. Not in every case, of course, but nice little pump. We're not popping the champagne bottle yet. We're not celebrating yet. It's just a reminder, though, that there is a future to be had, in my opinion, not financial advice. For when the really good news does eventually hit, I still think it's a matter of when and not if. Do be sure you're following Altcoin Buzz and Altcoin Buzz News. Follow us also on Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. Check out our last video. Check out our website content. If you choose to invest, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, on this hump day, hey, all the very best of luck. If not, have a great day either way. We'll see you again soon in our next video. Take care.